welcome to my channel. This is Love Storyteller Tarot. My name's Jeanette, and I just want to say a big thank you for all of the lovely messages and condolences for my family, and I can't thank you enough. And I really do believe, because of all the love that was sent, that, you know, we were able to get through it in a more peaceful and loving way. And I've just brought out, I hope you can see this, I'm having to video in my bedroom at the moment, and the room isn't suitable, but never mind, let's carry on. And I just wanted to point the candle out because I just felt, you know, a lot of people need spirit guiding me to buy this. I was going to do an Easter special, but I haven't had time, because I don't know about you, but this new moon in Pisces to the full moon in Libra literally has knocked me on my back. In between readings, I've had to lie on my bed and just rest, because the grieving and the emotional stuff that's been coming out has just been amazing. So not pleasant in one way, but so tearful and crying all the time, and obviously deep rooted, because we've got a full moon in Scorpio during April, so but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I just felt like Spirit was guiding me to get this candle, which is, it says hope, and it's not about false hope, it's about you know, not blind hope, it's about having hope. And I see hope as, you know, we want a certain outcome to a situation. We don't know whether we're going to get it or not, but you know, there's no harm in hoping, because I think when we lose hope, our energies drop, and you know, and that affects us in a big way. And it says believe, you know, we have to believe. My niece once said to me, I said, oh yeah, seeing is believing, and she was only 6-7 at the time, and she turned around and said, no, you have to believe before you see. So a slap in the face for me. And then we've got love at the bottom, which love for me represents the essence of love. My readings, you know, is about love, and they can be, it can be any situation that you're in. Yeah, I call upon the romance angels, because most people want to know about that, but you know, I don't try and name it so that it can fit in, you know, if you're having a problem with your sister or your brother, mothers, family members, you know, that sort of thing. It's about love, but it mainly is about the romantic love. And so I light this candle in honor of hope, and that we believe, maybe not, you know, yeah, in an outcome, but you know, we just have to have hope, and not false hope, and you know, around love. So I lit that, and then I just wanted to say, this is what we were given. I'm just going to try and find my picture. This is what we were given at the funeral we went to, and this was, you know, this is a red nose, and there's me wearing mine. So just to sort of, you know, his entrance when they took the coffin out was always look on the bright side of life, and that's what he was about. So I think maybe that's I know it's hard when we're going through situations, but I think that is a message from Spirit, to try and look on the bright side of life whenever you can. So that's in honor of that, and I do thank you all. I do thank you all for your lovely messages. I got to do a bit of business to begin with, and then we'll get on with the reading. Just a bit of confusion about my readings. You can now pay, you've got a choice, you can now pay with credit card or PayPal. If you haven't got a PayPal account, you can do either. So that's an upgrade. My sister, bless her, she's done all that. But before you purchase a reading, you must contact me via my contact form on my website for availability, because I need to know if you want an hour consultation or a 30-minute one, and then I have to fit it in appropriately, because I only work on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday up until 5 p.m. Because I believe in work-life balance. So come 5 o'clock Friday evening UK time, I won't be answering emails or you know, purchases until the Monday after I've done my readings for the clients that are already booked in. So please be patient. I will get back to you. And I do apologise to those I haven't been able to do a reading for. Please don't take it personally, but my readings are pretty in depth, and I have to take care of myself, and plus I like to do the YouTube channel because I believe it helps other people too. So I've got to fit those readings in as well, and it's just about balance really. So don't take it personally. And then once you've contacted me and I've confirmed that, you know, we're happy about going forward, then you purchase your reading and submit your questions. With a 30-minute reading, it's 1/2, and try and use empowering questions so that you get the most out of your reading. I noticed that those that really resonated with some of the readings, you know, they had readings, and some of them were a bit, I felt, was a bit disappointed in the reading because they resonated so much with the reading on YouTube. But it would just be another aspect of it. But that might be a message for you, you know, if it really resonates, maybe the messages are there for you anyway. So yeah, and then yeah, so submit your questions. My readings, because I've had so many questions about that, my readings are video only, because a lot of my readers, bless them, my followers are in the US, and there is a time difference, and that's why I don't reply sometimes till later on, because, you know, it's downtime for me, and then obviously going into sleep time and that. So but at the moment, that's all I can offer is the video readings. So I do a video reading like I'm doing now here, but it's personal to you with your questions, either 30 minutes or an hour. And I know you can't ask me questions about the reading as we're going along, but the bonus is that you do get all those messages in the reading with, you know, which is pure spirit coming through. Once the reading's done and then questions are being asked, then the ego, you know, does come into it. We try not to do that, but it does. What else do I want to say? Oh, sorry, I wrote it down because I had so much. Oh yeah, my readings are very much about soul contracts and empowerment, that, you know, the lessons you're learning and your awakening really. It's very psychological, spiritual psychology, and it's about behavioral patterns, you know, so it's more about that. My readings are, it's about, you know, what can you do to empower yourself to change the situation so you don't attract people, you know, like you have done in the past really. So I hope I've covered everything with the readings. We're going into, this one is the Aries full moon in on the 7th of April, which is a fire sign. It's all about self-assertion, and I think Mars is the ruler of Aries. So we've also got a Mercury retrograde in Taurus. I don't know the dates, you'll have to check them. And we've got a Mars retrograde, so that which is only comes around every 2.5 years. So that's going to be a major impact, is the Mars retrograde one, especially as it rules Aries for this new moon. So I think that's going to, you know, it's the planet, Mars is like the planet of the warrior, and it can cause conflict, but it's like the soldier energy, the warrior energy, the emperor. It's about leadership, and it's you know, it's about living in the moment. It's I am, it's all about I am. But we do have those retrograding in there as well, so I won't go too much on about that, because you know, you can check out your favorite astrologers on YouTube or whatever, and they'll give you more information, because that's 10 minutes already and I like to get to the reading. Right, so I think I've said everything, and let's get to it. Now, I thought I would try this because this is about psychology, the lessons we're learning. So I'm going to pull these cards. I hope you can see. Yeah, just haven't got the room in here, so I'm having to do it on my knees, as in shuffle my arms, leant on my knees. Oh, and I just want to say a big thank you and welcome to my new subscribers, and I've noticed there's a lot of men subscribing, so I really appreciate all of you, all the new ones, and the, you know, my loyal ones that have stayed with me. I noticed a lot of well, not a lot, but you know, subbies went around the last full moon. I think it was the full moon. So you know, I just sense that if something hasn't happened around that time period, you know, they don't think it's going to happen. But I remember having a reading when I first started going into this back in 1998, and they said I'd meet a certain person, and you know, that, well, I won't go into it, it's in my book, but and I thought, yeah, because that was me at the time, and it was nearly 4 or 5 years later, but it actually happened. So anyway, I just thought I'd say that. Right, I need to close my eyes. Right, what's the most important message we need to know concerning our love relationships, the pattern that's playing out on a collective level, in other words, with most people? So what's the most important message, please, Spirit? I'm going to keep my eyes closed so that I don't influence, because they're different colours. Okay, right, personal myth. These are the what is oh, I can't reach it. It's oh no, if I move that, it's Chuck Spezzano, the Enlightenment Pack. This is I used them years ago, but Spirit got me to get them out and get it now. This is the unconscious, you see. This is number 18. This is the personal myth. So this is the story we're telling ourselves, you know, back in our past. This is a book, and there's two people there, so it's about a relationship, and you know, then you've got the shadow there, because my work's all about the shadow. You've got the shadow at the back that's huge, but it's only because it's a shadow, because there's light coming onto it that shows that shadow. And there's the storybook, you see. There's your past. It's what you're writing, your personal myth. This is what's happening in your relationships, going back to the past. It's, you've got to look at what you're thinking and what you're thinking about and what you want to happen and what you've created already up to now. Really, that's what it's saying. What have you created up to now, and has that been working for you? Aries is all about being in the moment. They're pioneers. They're like a warrior. Well, it's the warrior energy, as in, I'm getting even down to the Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon. in there where he's talking to her and she said, oh, do you live round here? And he said, yeah, I used to live over there. And he says, Pioneer Street. I mean, come on. So you know, this is self-assertion, the Aries energy. Like I said, I'm not an astrologer, so I only go by the archetype of it, but I don't know all the ins and outs of it. But it's about I am, it's about self-assertion. It can come around sex and power, so it'd be interesting to see what the other cards are. But yeah, this is the story you're writing, or what you've written up to now, so you need to be really aware of that. That's what's going on in your relationships. So, and this is the healing card, so they're all the same colour, so it doesn't matter. This is what the healing will be, what healing it will take place. The truth. So straight away I got the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. It was so strong. And if you can see, because this is the healing, you know, the truth has set them free. You can see the clothes that she was wearing and the clothes that he was wearing, they're not wearing them anymore. That's a role they've been playing. You know, you're playing out certain roles from your past and telling yourself a story, or people are putting those roles onto you. Oh, you know, this is you, and you know, that's down to your parents when you was young, and the roles they put onto you. You know, just for an example, you know, dad's been a farmer all his life, and then dad expects you to be a farmer or a soldier or whatever the story is, whatever that story is. You know, and that's the personal myth. But telling yourself the truth in your relationships will set you free. Tell yourself the truth of the story you keep telling yourself. You know, are you telling yourself in an illusion? Most of the time it is. Or are you telling you carrying the story of your past, your parents' story and your grandparents' story, ancestral? Are you carrying that all on your shoulders? And there's the fear there. You know, but the truth about your personal myth, because a myth is a myth, you know, check it out. Is this real about me? Somebody said this about me in my past. Is this real about me? Probably not. No. Tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth in your love situations. It will set you free. Stop playing the roles people want you to play in your relationships, is the message I'm getting. Very strongly. Very strongly. You know, but they're together. It doesn't mean a relationship has to end. It just means you can't keep wearing these masks and playing these games. You've got to be honest and tell each other how you really feel. And yes, sometimes you will walk that pathway alone. Sometimes. Other times you'll be surprised and it will change the whole dynamic, because you're trying to get away from codependency patterns into interdependency of joining with somebody, joining with them at a heart level, at a soul level. So the truth will set you free. That's the healing. It's the middle card that's most important. And then when you close my eyes again, only because it's the colours and I don't want to influence the colours. So what is the gift or the grace card that you'd get if you actually went through this healing and told yourselves the truth in your relationships? Flow. The gift you actually get, if you can see that, is the flow. The gift is to be in the flow. You literally get in your boat and you just go with the flow, and that is the gift. But you have to tell yourself the truth to receive that gift of the stories that you're telling yourself. because you know you go with the river, you just go with it. I remember somebody, I can't remember who it was, but he did a reading for me that was, he likened it to a little bubbly little pond thing, brook thing, bubbling up, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and then I'm on a boat and somebody's with me. Well, there's enough room for 1 or 2 people, which to me represents I will get married once or twice. And then, you know, I'm going, it turns into a river, a stream, and then it turns into a river, and then this person jumps on my boat, which were, you know, was my husband, and then we're going down the river, and then he jumps off onto the embankment, thinking that it was you know, an embankment, and that there was, but it wasn't, it was an island. It was an island, and he didn't know that it was an island, so he couldn't get back off. But I was so pleased because he said he jumped off your boat, which means he jumped off my path. It wasn't me, I didn't push him. And he tried to get back on the boat, but I was going with the flow. I was going with the flow, so I was going down the river. Going down the river to pray. So you know, I was going down the river. So, and he said you can't, or you don't want to hear him, and that was it. Passed it, and he was stuck on the island, which was his lesson. But anyway, I don't know why I told you that, but I have. So those are really important cards, and I'm going to start using them in my personal readings as well, because I think they're really important to get us to know where we're going. So the myth, the personal stories we're telling ourselves. We've got to tell ourselves the truth, and the gift you get is to go with the flow, of life, because I just feel there's, you know, I was going to say there's a lot of people wanting to know about past relationships. Are they coming back out of all my readings? I just want to say that if any of those relationships were abusive, you know, then that person would have to do a 180 degrees turnaround. It would need to be that for you to even consider entering that relationship. But you know, if they ended where there was no, or separation, there was nothing really a problem as such, then that's a different story. That's a different story. But watch the stories you're telling yourself about your love life. You've got to be honest with yourself, because you know the truth will set you free, and you get the gift of flow. So let's put these out the way and go into these. So what are the most important messages, please, Spirit, for this new moon in Aries? But yeah, oh goodness me, that last new moon, I thought that felt like a full moon. I was on my back with pain in my back, pain in my neck, all emotional clearing stuff. Just couldn't stop crying. Had to rest in between doing my clients, all that sort of thing. But I think we're all feeling it. What's the most important messages, please? Hope I've said everything I wanted to say. Spirit will let me know anyway. Most important messages. Oh, straight away we've got the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords are all about, you know, petty argument. It's like arguments, it's quarrels, it's about pride, really. It's about right and wrong, somebody thinking they're right, somebody thinking they're wrong, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's on the mental level. Don't know if I'm gonna have enough room here. Let's carry on. Oh, and we've got the Nine of Wands. I was going to change the deck, but I thought no, because a lot of these cards haven't even come out yet, so I thought I'd give them a chance to show themselves. But the Nine of Wands is about, you know, defending your position. Really, it's about defending what you've worked damn hard for, that you've got into a position of strength, upright. It's about strength, but don't use it as, you know, as a defense. You have your boundaries, but not a defense. Then we've got the Four of Cups. I think this came up before. Four of Cups is there. Oh, we've got the Ten of Swords under the Five of Swords. So it's the Five of Swords causing the Ten of Swords. Can you see everything? Yeah. Oh, we've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, Seven of Cups, to me, he's like warning. He's got that hand out and he's warning you. It's about an emotional choice. There's a warning there. It's at the heart of the matter, so that's like a major arcana when it's at the heart of the matter. And then we've got the Magician. The Magician is all about a crossroads. It's about using your power wisely. It's upright, but yes, at crossroads, it's a choice point. Coming to a choice point. And then we've got the Six of Swords. The choice is to move away. We've got all the swords in. Can you see all of them? Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. I know it's a little table. Six of Swords, and that all goes down that way. I like you to see the cards so that you can figure out things for yourself. And then we've got the Eight of Cups. Oh, that's two movements away. Okay, let's not jump again. And then we've got, oh, we've got the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. Let's see what's at the bottom. Oh, we've got the Chariot. So the Chariot is, for me, it's number 7, means you're on the right path. But this is what's underneath. This is what's going on underneath. So all of this that's happening is to get you on the right path, because this is what's going on underneath. That's what I'm sensing. And to me, you see, that looks, I might be wrong, I don't know all my things, but that looks like a new moon, you see. And this is the new moon in Aries, so that's what's going on underneath. So I'm just going to put them over there because I haven't got much room now that we've got them all there. Okay, so let's have a look. The heart of the matter is that there's a choice, an emotional choice to be made, and he's pointing, not the finger, but he's putting his hand out, and he's saying, you know, think wisely, because the magician, the wizard, he's a wizard. The wizard is, well, a bit like the magician, but he's all about the inner wizard, the you know, wise wizard within. So you've got to look careful at your choices. Make sure, if whichever cup you choose, yeah, the rainbow might be on there, but that could be an illusion, you see. That's what I'm sensing. I'm sensing that you've got to be, because of the myth, the story, the unconscious stories that are being played out, you've got to be careful. You've got to be telling yourself the truth, because we've got a Mercury retrograde in this April 1, and with Mercury, if you're not telling yourself the truth, you will get what we call the trickster come into your life, and the trickster will even come into your readings. It will trick you into believing something. So if you're not telling it'll only come in if you're not telling yourself the truth about a situation, about a relationship. And that's what this is about, you know. And we've got to remember that Mercury will be at play. I don't know the dates. It starts on the 7th. I can't remember the dates. Hang on, did I write it down? Did I write it down? The Mars retrograde is 17th of April to June the 29th, because it's a longer one. And then the Mercury one is the setup phase runs from the 7th of April. The actual retrograde is the 28th and 28th of May, is it? And then it completes on the 10th of June. So I'm not too sure, but you need to check that out. And because all I'm saying is that it'll be affecting you. So yeah, so I'm not too sure if I'm gonna stop doing readings. I've got to ask Spirit if that's right for me to do readings during the 3 weeks that it goes retrograde. The setup phase before and the shadow phase after is fine, but I'll check with Spirit. I will post it if I'm not going to do readings during those 3 weeks. I need to get the go ahead of my own guidance, really. But yeah, getting back to this, that's what I'm saying. It's, you know, you've got to check your past. Your past is there to give you a clue to the lessons you've learnt only, and then, you know, it empowers you to make the right choice to move yourself forward, because you don't want to be going back down the path of fate again. You want to be moving yourself towards destiny. But saying that, even going down the path of fate, yeah, you get your heart broken, but it does awaken you to your destiny. We have a choice, I think. We have a choice. Do we want to experience that heartbreak, or do we want to be more conscious and avoid it, knowing and trusting our own intuition? So yeah, you might think you're choosing the rainbow, and then it turns out to be another heartbreak. So this is what's at the heart of the matter. That's what's talking to me. It's about making the right choice so that you're on the right path, so that you're in charge of your life, not somebody else. You know, not waiting for somebody else. It's about you being in charge of your life and living your destiny, and then the right person will show up, is what they're saying. And we've got the other cup we've got, you see, underneath it, I'm not going in order for some reason today, and then the other cups we've got were 7, then you've got an 8. You've got an 8, but you're walking, the 8 is that you're walking away from something because her back's to it, but then she's also walking towards something, and what she's walking towards is, you know, these are your chakras, the 7 stars, your chakra, and there's the 8th one, which represents your soul, and there's the moon again. You're in the dark. There's not full clarity, but you're heading towards, you're walking away from something emotionally, and you're heading towards your right path, because you've got the crest there and the crest there. Those cards link. You've got to follow your soul calling now. You need to. The star is, you know, the star of hope. It's the star of wishes. It's the star of wish upon a star. But there's a reason that one star is there. It's because that's your soul one. That's your inner knowingness calling you towards somewhere, is what I'm getting with that. Because you get your 7 and then you get your 8. But that's what's at the heart of the matter. So you've also got the 4 of Cups there. But let's go to this one, which is get more comfortable, which, like I said, it's about communication, because it's the swords. It's about how we communicate, and there's been arguments or petty quarrels, petty fights, sort of thing. It's all about pride as well. Like I said, it's about proving you're wrong, someone proving you wrong and they're right, or something like that. this card is. And then, you know, you go into protecting yourself because of what's happening here. And this is, you know, she's the warrior. It's the Mars energy. The Aries energy is the warrior. You know, and this shows a female, and she's worked hard for what she's got, what she's created, because this is about creativity. So it's what she's created. It's also about the spiritual, you know, it's the spiritual path, and your inner artist and what you've had to do to achieve what you have. And you know, she's using her Ace of Wands to put up the, you know, warning. So that's what she's feeling she has to do, because this is about strength. So you're having to be strong where this communication is going on. And the Four of Cups is upright. So, but you know, she's bored. This is like waiting again. And that's what I just sense. It's people are waiting, and you've got to decide, is it worth waiting for, really? But she's waiting there. She's got her hand on, you know, leaning her head on her hand, and she's got the cup in her right hand, which means giving. So she's offering. She's offering. She's willing to give. The female is offering and is willing to give. Emotional, this is, because it's water. She's willing to give of herself, and she's thinking, oh my God, how much more time do I have to wait? But she looks more mature, you see, than him. He looks like a little child. She's connected to her emotions because she's the mermaid. She's comfortable in her surroundings, in her environment. She's comfortable with her feelings, her emotions. But he's not. He's got his arms crossed. This can be the boredom card also. You know, you're bored. Well, she's fed up of waiting. She's thinking, how much longer do I have to wait? And he's focused, protecting his heart, to do with the Three. His focus and energy is so focused on the Three, he can't even see what's being offered. Can't even see what's being offered. I say he, could be a she, it could be the other way around. I'm trying to read for everybody here, to give a bit of balance. But yeah, so, and then we've got the Ten of Swords right underneath the Five of Swords, you see. So it's that mental tension. It's, well, this card is enough is enough. It's enough is enough. You know, 5 doubles into 10, and it's been going, so 5 to 10, you've gone through all the you know, anxiety of the, well, you've gone through the 8 of the 7, the sneakiness, where he's being crafty. You've gone through all of that. You've gone through the 8, which is being blindfolded and not freeing yourself or letting yourself be free of the situation. And then you've gone through the 9, because if you don't look at the 8, then you go on to the 9, which causes anxiety. And then from anxiety, the 9, you get to the 10, where you're totally exhausted from thinking about this situation. You're just totally on your back. You've had enough. But it's also a good card, because it means you've come to the end of it. You've come to the end of it. You've had enough and you've come to the end of it. So it's the end of that cycle. So that's very positive. I like to see this card, believe it or not. And because it's next to the 7 of Cups, you know, that's the past. You know, due to an argument from the past, where you've had to defend your position, and you've got fed up, bored of waiting, because you've prepared to offer something. You've come to the end of that cycle now on a mental level, and now it's a choice point. It's a choice point. This choice needs to be made on an emotional level, but you need to choose wisely. And I say that it's a choice point because, sorry if I'm putting the cards too close, I say that because the Magician is about a crossroad. So there's a crossroads there, to do with your power, who you are as a person. And that's why the storytelling at the beginning came in. It's about your truth, so that you can get into the flow of life and use all these instruments on your table, all the gifts that the universe has given you, that show through your talents, whether you're a carpenter, a hairdresser, whatever you are, look after animals, children, whatever your gift is that's unique to you. Nobody else in this world can do it the way that you do it. This is the crossroads you're at because of the emotional situation. And the choice is, because there's always a choice, are you going to follow that path? Are you going to follow that path? Because Aries is the I am card, and the ruler Mars, which will be retrograde, is because Aries is a fire sign, and it begins it's the first sun sign of the zodiac sign. So we're heading into a new cycle, what's going to play out for the rest of the year, plus remembering the last new moon and full moon as well. But yeah, so this is all about your inner power. You're at a crossroads, about using that. That's the here and now. Yep, and that's why the Six of Swords is there, and it's underneath the 5 and the 10, because due to those arguments, or lack of communication, no clarity, you've had enough. You've come to the end of a cycle, and that's it. There you go. You're moving away. You're moving away. You've had enough, because this is your past. This is your stormy waters, which is the 5, because 5 comes before 6. This is the 5 here. You've turned your back. You've turned your back. You've had enough. You've just had enough, and you're moving towards the 6, which is movement away. And this can be journeys. This can actually be physical journeys, but there's a lot of swords there, so it could be mentally you're letting go and turning away. You're telling yourself the truth. You're telling yourself the truth of the story that you've been telling yourself, or you played out a role for other people, and you're freeing yourself by telling yourself the truth, which actually then your gift is, because it's a boat again, same boat but go in a different direction, because you have to go out to sea to get away from this so that you can go in a new direction. And then there you are, 5, 6, 7, 8. 35 is number 8. Number 8 is all about abundance, and it's the affinity number. I can never get that word out. It's this, because that represents it. There you go into the flow by following. You get into the flow by getting in your boat, like I did, because they said I get into my boat and then I go to the river. I pull up just before I enter the sea, which is like this, coming down the river. Just before you don't know where this is going, just before you get to the sea, you pull up. You get all your what do you call them, you stock up, you get all the things you need, which is these, all your gifts and talents, before you head out to sea. And then in my reading it said you're then captain of your ship, and then you're going out to sea, and the sea leads to the ocean, and that is just ginormous. So I do believe, now that I'm doing this, because I was doing this back in before I went to, I won't say where, but yeah, 2003 I left England. Yeah, so so I do believe I'm going now, heading out into the sea, which I think a lot of you will, symbolically, or it could be, this is travel, this card is travel. You go with the flow and life becomes easier. Life becomes easier. So you're moving away because there's the 8. This is like the pilgrim card, the spiritual card. Like I said, you're following your calling, you're following your, and here that even looks like a lady. You probably can't see it, but the mountain there, that looks like her nose, her mouth and her chin, and then that's the stars is her hair, and that's her forehead, and she's looking to that star. But you're being called, and this is on an emotional level. This is the pilgrim. It's about, both of them, about moving away mentally and emotionally. And then we get down to here, which is the Knight of Cups. Now he's all about, you know, you don't want the romantic illusion anymore. You don't want the romantic illusion anymore. You know, what story out of these cups have you been telling yourself? Oops. What story have you been telling yourself out of these cups about, you know, romance and the knight, or you know, the princess? It can work either way. You know, the knight in shining armor and the kissing the princess sort of thing, all those romantic stories. But yeah, so that's what's that about. But you're moving towards that when you look at it that way. That's why that's why this card is important. What's at the heart of the matter means what's in present time. It's your choice here in present time is to what you're going to get this time. Do you want to repeat the past, or do you want something new? Is what they're saying. But this is your choice point here. That's the crossroads. That's the crossroads, as to whether you get this, because it's still on that line. It's still on that line, is whether you want fate or whether you want to head towards destiny, which is, you know, him. But a realistic point of view of who this knight in Knight of Cups is. But he's offering, or she is offering, you know, their cup, an invitation to love. And that card is horses as well. This is about being in charge, you see. If you follow your destiny, follow your flow, you will be in charge of your life. And that's what Spirit wants for you, is to do that. So, we're running out of time. Let me use some of these cards. What is the time? Yeah. What are the most important messages that complement this reading, please, Spirit? Most important messages. Right, yeah, there's change there. There's change, and that's on the 5. Like I said, there's change, hence why the 10's there. What's at the heart of the matter? Which is the most important card. What's at the heart of the matter? What's at the heart of the matter? Oh, there we go. It's the coffin. It's the coffin. So definitely a death of a situation. I'm sorry if this upsets some people, but I can only give the messages, and you'll know what it means to you and what's in and around the heart of the matter and the environment. The mountain. The mountain it can represent something strong, which, you know, that is about strength, being strong. It can also represent abroad, or that's vitality. That's all about health and vitality, strength again. The tree's very strong. And then we've got the dog. The dog is about companionship. It's about loyalty. It's about you know, being friendly, that sort of thing, which is on the 10. We've got the book come up again, which is the Magician, which can be about it's about the crossroads. But maybe you're the crossroads, you see, in the path that's needing to be taken. You haven't got all. You don't know. It's the unknown again. It's the unknown again that throws people into you know, space. They don't know what to do. And then we've got the bird on the 6 of Swords, which is understandable. That's all about anxiety. And then we've got the woman on the 8 of Cups. And then what have we got? Well, we've got the anchor. The anchor, which is about stability, on the Knight of Cups. So he's the one bringing in stability. Whoops. And then we've got the horse, which is about movement and journeys, which also is, you know, which is also about, no coincidence, they're both horses. The Chariot, it's under Cancer, it's number 7. It's about the emotions, so it works well with the Cups actually. But this is all about, you know, this can be a knight in shining armor, but it doesn't have to be somebody you know you love. It could be because he's there. It could be a friend, or she. It could be a friend that's around you that comes in. So but anyway, let's go here because I haven't got much time left. So yeah, I'll just say it as quickly as I can, really. Yeah, the Skaith is all about change, you see, and can be sudden change. It can be, you know, it's like that. It can cut. It can cut, but it's about change around this, around this situation where there's been, you know, arguments. Really, enough is enough. And that, you know, that's about being strong. It's about strength. It's about something solid, something rock solid. You are rock solid. Believe in what you believe in, as in, you know, what you've worked hard for and where you've got to. But like I said, it can also represent abroad. You might need to be strong concerning that situation. And then the tree is all about vitality, and look, they're sat under a tree. They're sat under a tree. It's about strength, it's about abundance, and it's something that's growing. Something that's growing, that because the book's there, something that's growing that maybe you can't see because he can't see, you see. He's not seeing something, he's not seeing what's being offered to him. But remember, this is just for April. It's not for the whole year or whatever. It's just for April. But this is, you know, you've had enough. This cycle's come to an end, and but there's someone there, a friend, a friend or a companion. There is a companion there for you. That's going to be there for you to pick up the pieces that I'm getting. Oh, excuse me. I need a drink of water. Is going to pick up the pieces. There is change there, or there's change concerning a friend. But this is what's at the heart of the matter, which is the coffin is delays, you see. It's about delays. It's about something ending, which has to end so that there can be a new beginning. But it is what's at the heart of the matter, and we will be in a Mercury retrograde, so you might not get your answers, you see, until after the Mercury retrograde, and hence why he's cautioning. He's like cautioning, really, is what I'm getting around this decision. Cautioning. And the book and the Magician, you know, that can, the book can also represent, you know, an actual book, a written book, but I don't think it does, because the lily's not there. If the lily was there, then I would be pointing that out, and it's not. I do think the Magician is, he does things, he has a trick up his sleeve. That's where I said it's Mercury retrograde, but it's not reversed. You know, he has a trick up his sleeve, but he does things that it's illusions, and it's next to the Seven of Cups, you see, because he has to be an illusionary so that he does the magic, and he so you don't see behind the scenes, and the book's there, you see. So I think Spirit's saying, we're not going to tell you everything, so stop trying to find the answers, the Book of Answers. Stop trying to find the answers. We're not going to tell you everything. You need to be patient, is what I'm getting, because this book, and people aren't believing. Hope, believe and love. People aren't believing. That's why they guided me to buy that candle. People have stopped believing, and they don't have hope. And so their Spirit's teaching you patience. So the more you want something, the more you'll repel it, is what I'm getting. The more you want it, the more you'll repel it, and the more the universe won't bring it to you, is what I'm getting. Oh, I feel as though I feel like a stern teacher. I do apologise, but I think it's my Saturn, because I'm a Capricorn sun. I think Saturn is my ruler, and he's in Sag. I think it's about spirituality. I think he's being the hard taskmaster, but he's being the good parent, really, being the good parent to try and wake us up. So if, you know, patience is a virtue, so if we're not being patient about a situation, they won't bring it in, because what you're having to learn is patience, is what I'm getting. So yeah, have I said all I wanted to say? But on here, you see, oh god, this is the most uncomfortable position. Right, on here, this is a book and this is a book. So again, use your skills and talents to rewrite your story. Use your skills and talents to, you know, rewrite your symbolic story, is what I'm getting. Is what I'm getting, because that's the book and that's the book, but that is the Book of the Unknown and Patience. So, and this guy underneath, because he's underneath, he's unknown. You don't know, or Spirit won't let you know who this person is that they're going to be sending you, man or woman, for same-sex couples, whatever, or if you're, I don't know about if you're already in a relationship. If you're already in a relationship, maybe it'll make sense to you. I don't know. If you're having arguments, then yeah, you need to rewrite your story. You need to end that cycle and become more friendly. If you're already in a marriage or a long-term relationship, become friends again, is what I'm getting. And to make, you know, stop seeing the illusions, and you know, become friends again and move away from those arguments and those emotional upsets if you're in a relationship, so that he can be your knight in shining armor, that he can come back. Because if he doesn't feel he's making you happy, he won't want to make you happy if you're already in a marriage or a long-term relationship. But yeah, this is about rewrite your story. This is just a myth. Change it is what I'm getting, but that is the unknown. And then oh goodness, if my battery goes, I apologize, but I will be sending this out. But there is anxiety about moving away, you see. On a mental level, you're going to be, oh, I'm in an RN, and this is a woman, this is her, it's a lady having to follow her path, walk away emotionally and follow her path, her spiritual path, and that's going to cause anxiety. But you're walking towards, okay, you're moving away from that, you're walking away from that, but you're moving towards this, that way. But I'll put it that way because you're moving towards it, and that's where the cup of will be. And it's about stability, and news is on its way, because there's the horse. So this underneath, that's the right path. Whoever comes in offering you that is the right path. Okay, sorry, I've had to rush that a little bit, but where's the romance angels? Please keep my battery going till I finish. I know this is going to be a long one, but I had to say what I had to say in the beginning. And I know some people say I talk too much. Chatty Cathy, I think you say in America. But it is for good. It's for the highest good. So what's the most important messages, please, Spirit, romance angels, for the month of April concerning our love lives? It's the most important messages, please. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. So there you go. What's at the bottom? Make an effort. So I do believe that that's what they're saying. I'll leave that there a minute, but this is the person, because he brings instability. This is a past life that you've had with someone that's coming in, that's going to be offering you something. You've known them before, a past life, that is, and he's going to bring in stability, and to make an effort. Make an effort will put you on the right path, because you know somebody's coming in. Okay, right, let's do Archangel Michael. No, let's do Ask the Angels. Right, quickly. It's the most important message, please. Well, you ask your question to this reading and then you'll get your answer. So this is a past life. It's somebody that, you know, you've had a past life relationship with. It's the most important answer to this reading that you can give us. Sometimes it resonates, sometimes it doesn't, but don't worry about it. Also, yes, we had a yes on another one. Whatever that yes was it the new moon in Pisces? Because this is a new moon in Aries. So the new moon in Pisces, because that cycle lasts for 6 months, this is what it is. It's connected to that one. Whatever it was, you've got your answers in there. You've got a lot of information. It's a definite yes, whatever you just asked about. And this is to do with the past life. Oh, I get so excited. And yeah, and let's have a look. Archangel Michael before it closes. Right. Archangel Michael, what's the most important message, please? that my beautiful earth angels need to know, both male and female, concerning their love lives. Most important messages. Sorry, only one. Have confidence. Have confidence. Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Help me to realise that I am one with all that is divine wisdom, strength, love, creativity and abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways. So have confidence around this situation. You know, you might be going through a hard time on a mental level, but have confidence. And at the bottom it's saying new beginnings and fresh start, new beginnings and a fresh start. And on the bottom of this one, I forgot, it says there's something better. There's something better, which I think is that one. Which I think is that one. So that's what it's saying. And let's just end with my whispers of love. I'm so sorry, it's a long reading, isn't it? But I had to get in about my personal readings because people were getting a bit confused. So what's the whisper of love message? What's the whisper of love message? Whisper of love message. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care, which I think is down to that one there. I don't know why I'm getting that, but something to do with a friend, around a friend, or be friendly. I don't know. You'll know. You'll know. But there we go. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. That goes along with all those other ones. Right, there you go. I'm leaving it at that. I was going to, oh dear, sorry, just moving it about, aren't I? There we go. I was going to pull some cards on that one. I shouldn't really, should I? But there we go. Let's go. Right, what do we need to know? Most important messages we need to know about the Knight of Cups. For some confirmation, please. It's the most important messages. Man or woman, don't worry about it. It's the most important messages we need to know on the Knight of Cups. Oh, well, the Knight of Cups has had a hard time, has had a broken heart. The Knight of Cups has. Oh, and there's the Five of Swords. So I had some reason, for some reason I was meant to put that up, which is battles, which goes back to the Five of Swords, but there's change concerning that. And there's the Chariot. So this person has had to go through, man or woman, has had to go through the heartbreak to tell themselves a different story, which goes back to that, because the heartbreak came from that, the myth of the story around that. Okay, and that's why there was that, the Five of Swords, which there is change around that. And then you get on the right path, you see, on the right path, because there's the Chariot, which is buried under there. There's the Chariot, so the Chariot, the right path, is to do with the Knight. Like I said, it all marries, it all goes together. How lovely. I know it can seem a bit, oh, you know, up and down, but you know, that's the way it is. The story is unfolding. Maybe still need to have patience, and I know when you're in a place of anxiety it's really difficult. I understand that. So I wish you lots of love, and please give me your thumbs up and subscribe, share. Thank you for all of those who do share my videos. It's come off Facebook. People have come off Facebook. I'm not even on Facebook, but I am so grateful. But like I said, I do these videos because I want to support as many people as I can, because I'm only me. I can only do so many private readings, so please don't take it personally. I have to take care of myself, and I do give them my all when I do your personal readings, and that I'd rather do quantity than quality, and I'll leave you with that. For your relationships, have quality rather than quantity. Love you lots. Bless you. Bye for now. Namaste.